The Kansas City Chiefs just left us all speechless. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Kansas City Chiefs' plans for 2024 NFL Draft will put a smile on Patrick Mahomes' face and leave the NFL speechless. The Kansas City Chiefs' reported plans for the 2024 NFL Draft should make quarterback Patrick Mahomes a very happy man. Coming off a second straight Super Bowl championship-winning season, the Kansas City Chiefs hold the number 32 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And according to a top NFL insider, the team will likely prioritize wide receiver to help Patrick Mahomes. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that wide receiver may be Kansas City's main focus at the NFL Draft. Schefter noted that top WR Rashee Rice will likely receive a multi-game suspension for his involvement in a 6-car accident. Kansas City, which owns the number 32 pick, would have been expected to look for wide receiver help even before Rice's troubles. The team had the most drops in the league last season. Now, it sounds like it's the right draft to add a wideout. Asked to assess the wide receivers in this class, Chiefs general manager Brett Veach said, "I think it's one of the deeper classes. There is a large group of receivers in the first 50 picks that we have great grades on. Then I think there's another pocket right behind that." Rice, Kansas City's second leading receiver behind Travis Kelce last season, is currently facing 8 charges over his role in the accident. Kansas City released deep threat Marquez Valdes-Scantling in a cap-saving move and also decided not to bring back Super Bowl 58 hero Mecole Hardman, who remains a free agent. The Chiefs bolster one of the league's best offensive lines and a top 5 defense. So there aren't any other pressing needs heading into the draft. So for GM Brett Veach, taking a WR in one of the early rounds has to be a priority here. Obviously, the likes of Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, and Malik Nabers won't be available for Kansas City unless they give up a king's ransom to move up. But there will be plenty of intriguing options in the next tier of WR prospects for the defending Super Bowl champions. This includes Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Worthy of Texas, Ladd McConkey of Georgia, LSU's Brian Thomas Jr., and South Carolina's Xavier Legette. Kansas City can't expect to win another Super Bowl without adding at least one more impact receiver for Patrick Mahomes, especially if Rice misses time. So ultimately, it would be somewhat surprising if they passed on a WR in the first round. The Kansas City Chiefs announced Monday that they signed coach Andy Reid, general manager Brett Veach, and team president Mark Donovan to contract extensions, though the team did not say how long the deals would last or provide any other details. The Chiefs only said in a statement that the leadership team of the Chiefs will remain in place for the long-term future. Mark, Brett, and Andy have achieved historic success together, and we are thrilled that they will continue in their roles for many years to come, Chiefs chairman Clark Hunt said in a statement. Individually, Mark, Brett, and Andy each represent the best in the National Football League at their respective positions, and together, they make up one of the finest leadership teams in all of professional sports. They have been tremendous leaders for this organization on and off the field. On the field, the Chiefs have won 7 consecutive AFC West titles, 4 conference championships, and 3 Super Bowl titles, including the past 2. They also have been in 6 consecutive AFC championship games. They will head into next season trying to become the first team ever to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls. I'm incredibly grateful to Clark and the entire Hunt family for giving me the opportunity to lead this historic franchise, Reid said in a statement. There have been so many people that have contributed to our success in Super Bowls, and I'm grateful to the players, coaches, and staff that have all invested their time into this process. Veach, who was largely responsible for drafting Patrick Mahomes before he was promoted to GM, has worked side by side with Reid to build one of the deepest rosters in the NFL. Veach has been particularly adept when it comes to the draft, selecting such stars as linebacker Nick Bolton and all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie in recent years. Donovan has been in charge of off-the-field work, such as expanding the team's international fan base and footprint. "It is a privilege to help lead this organization's business operations," Donovan said. "I'm proud to be a part of a team that has had unprecedented success and look forward to creating and experiencing more historic moments with the Kingdom." The second story is the best-case scenario for Rashee Rice suspension is still awful news for Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice had the ideal rookie season. He was selected in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft by a team amid a dynastic-run league's next dynasty. He caught passes from quarterback Patrick Mahomes on routes schemed up by head coach Andy Reid, both of whom will wind up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a thin depth chart allowed him to become the most reliable wide receiver en route to a Super Bowl championship. After whiffing on multiple wide receivers in the second round of the NFL Draft, it seemed Chiefs general manager Brett Veach had finally found a great one. Now, Rice's bright future is looking a bit more dim. Rice is facing 8 felony charges for his involvement in a 6-vehicle crash on a Dallas highway in March. Over the past week, there has been increasing speculation about a potential suspension looming for the Chiefs wideout. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio speculated last Monday that Rice would likely miss all or part of the 2024 season, whether from being included on the commissioner's exempt list or being suspended without pay. ESPN's Adam Schefter suggested that Rice is likely facing a multi-game suspension. He is facing 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of collision involving injury, Schefter wrote. He turned himself into police last week at the regional jail in DeSoto, Texas, before being released on bond. On top of the legal issues and lawsuit he is facing, Rice is expected to be disciplined by the NFL, resulting in at least a multi-game suspension. Rice is likely to be disciplined in accordance with the NFL's personal conduct policy. Although multi-game suspension could mean as few as 2 games, the league could opt for a more significant suspension. There has been an increased focus on players involved in street racing and excessive speeding since Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs caused a fatal crash in 2021. Although Rice's actions didn't result in death, the crash left at least 7 people injured. In the meantime, Rice has taken part in Kansas City's off-season training program. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid clarified that Rice would continue to participate in the team's voluntary off-season virtual meetings with coaches. It was unclear if that extended to his on-field workout, but Rice posted a video of himself catching passes during Mahomes' informal off-season workouts hosted in his home state of Texas. Remember when Tyreek Hill played for the Kansas City Chiefs? It feels like a lifetime ago, but since Hill was shipped off to the Dolphins, the Chiefs haven't lost a playoff game, winning 2 Super Bowls and laughing all the way to the bank. Hill, meanwhile, has resorted to taking cheap shots at the team that drafted him and helped him become the player he is. His latest complaint that he has is that the Chiefs gave his previous jersey number away after he was traded. The third story is the Chiefs' Brett Veach sees possibilities for first-round draft trades. As the Kansas City Chiefs continue to bask in the glow of back-to-back NFL championships, maintaining their roster becomes more challenging. With Super Bowl pedigrees, key players can leave for lucrative deals or larger roles on other teams, and in the NFL Draft, the team picks after every other team. This means general manager Brett Veach must work that much harder to get the best players for his roster. Draft trades must be considered. Conventional wisdom suggests that Kansas City's opponents would naturally be hesitant to work with the league's top team. But to an extent, Veach denies this. If it can benefit them, I think they are always going to pick up the call and be willing to work, Veach told reporters during his annual pre-draft press conference on Friday. I don't think a team is going to diminish their ability to do something they really want to do just because it's a deal with the Chiefs. Veach does, however, acknowledge some obstacles that come from consistently being a Super Bowl contender. It's always been understood that if you're going to deal with a team in your division, that there's going to be a little bit more of a premium, he admitted. I think with just some of the AFC teams in general that are consistent playoff performers, I mean the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, it's probably a little bit harder to deal with those teams. Even if they do pick up the phone, I think some of their asking prices are a tick higher. I think we get hit with a little bit more interest. I think there is always a way to make a deal, but yeah, some of the teams will probably up the price a little bit. Just the same, when the draft begins in Detroit on Thursday night, Veach believes there could be opportunities to make a move in the first round. I think there are 16 to 18 guys this year that we have as first-round grades, he revealed. You factor in some quarterbacks there and some teams that will go in different directions that are contradictory to what our board has. You figure probably 16 to 18 names, 4 quarterbacks, maybe 5 quarterbacks. There could be a window there where we have an opportunity to get a guy. That's happened in the 2022 draft with Trent McDuffie, on whom the team had a first-round grade. The Chiefs thought the former Washington cornerback would be selected much sooner, but was still available past the halfway point of the first round and within range of the team's 29th pick. So Kansas City did not hesitate to pull the trigger, sending 3 draft picks to the New England Patriots to move up 8 spots and grab their guy. This aggressive move paid off, helping the team reload its defense and become one of the NFL's best units. So on Thursday, Veach will once again need to weigh all the factors. Is one guy that you have a first-round grade on better than 2 guys that you have maybe a second and third-round grade on?